Hello everyone, and welcome to another scholarly talk on life. This has been fun. And first, let's start us off with my keto coffee. It's early enough to drink a glass of coffee to get me started on the rest of my day. You know, my days and nights are confused, so I stay up really, really late and to like 1 o'clock or so. Maybe sometimes 3 or 4. Don't get me lying. And then, so when people actually want me to like do stuff early in the morning, I'm like, and I don't get to really do much until later on in the morning. And I know that my life has to readjust in a couple weeks because I go back to teaching online. So because one of my classes was canceled on Monday, so that means that I have an extra 2 weeks to be home and wake up later. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so as I'm getting my coffee together, I want to also, I think one of the reasons, I'm not going to say one, the reason why I got into It Works is because I really, really love the body applicators. It's the Ultimate Body Applicators body wraps, and it comes 4 in a pack. And right now they're doing this promotion, so you can go to elizabethwalker.itworks.com and get your body applicator. I do like, and you can use it on any part of your body, but I use it on my tummy. But here's the thing about it. It does really, I use it not every day, but every other day. And I'm getting back to doing it every other day. Or maybe sometimes once a week is probably the best. One of the reasons why I say that is because when you use it, and I'm going to put it on my tummy. When you use it, you need to be sure to drink a lot of water. Like, it really does flush you out. And when I was in high school, especially around prom season, my senior year, I did a lot of kickboxing. And I also did a lot of body wraps, and with my kickboxing workout regimen. And then right after college is when I got back to doing body wraps. And I will say that, and occasionally, I really like body wraps. Like, I really, really do. They don't do as many body wraps as they used to. And the one that I really like is the full body wraps, like at the spa. And not very many spas do it. And so that's really, really kind of frustrating for me, because they'll do, like, all they have is these different types of body wraps. And then they do all the measurements and stuff. And it's, and now there was a Hollywood one that they featured on Extra years ago. Oh, and I'm putting it into my iced coffee. Creating iced coffee, which is so much better than hot. Well, this version is so much better than the hot version. And one of the things that they would do, and so is they'd wrap you up, and then you doing this vibrator, and it really does work wonders when it comes to tightening the skin. And so I've always been a huge proponent of body wraps, and I've tried so many different types. Trust. But of course, you cannot do it just by yourself. You have to do it with other things. And so just to be mindful that you do have to, and this week I've started getting finally, I guess, back to the motivation of like, well, let's do a workout routine. So I've been checking me out. It may not be as much as I would like it to be, and I will admit to that, but I've been moving more. So I think that that's positive, and I want to be able to get down to my desirable size, see me myself again pre-kids. So that's a motivation for me. Anywho, so definitely it works. The promotion right now is 2 for $59 or something, or you can subscribe and just have them get it directly to your house. And I highly recommend the body wraps. Like, I mean, out of all of it, I mean, the coffee's good, the greens are good, the reds are good, and I think those are really good. And I do switch up. I don't do the reds and the greens every day. I do reds one day, greens the other day, so I kind of buy. And then I do the coffee every day, and then the body wraps. And of course do a small workout routine in the morning and a small workout routine in the evening. And so trying to get all that going and walking the dog more, which I think is, he's happy, I'm happy, we're all happy about walking the dog more. Okay, number 2. Because I told you that there was going to be a new launch on, and I should have had it pulled up, I'm sorry, patterns, I decided to wear my patterns today. I use patterns today, and then I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the new things that they have on it. So there's 4 new things, right? So there's curl gel, styling cream, stronghold gel, and edge control. Okay. And there's also a self-heating pack, JoJo oil hair serum, self-heating packs, and then there's also a mist. So I am going to definitely try the JoJo oil hair serum. So that is going to be added to the bag because I actually do like the JoJo hair serum, right? So that's definitely going to be there. And then I don't understand the difference between the styling cream and the leave-in conditioner, but I am willing to try the styling cream. And I am willing, that's about it. I'm not willing to try the curl gel, the stronghold gel, and the edge control. I'll try the edge control. That I will try. But I'm not willing to try the other, the gel. Why? I feel like gel takes so long for me to get through a container, and I have, I think, 4 different bottles of gels, and to spend $25 on some gel is not something I'm interested in doing right now. I think that's a bit much for me to be spending on some gel, especially when I don't go through containers of gel like a lot of other people may do. So gel takes forever to get out of my house, so that's that. I don't know if I'm willing to buy this mist. I don't know if I see a point in doing the mist. Let me show you. There's this is hydrating mist. Okay, they have a small bottle of it. I'll try it because it's $7 for the small bottle. The $18 bottle, I'm not willing to go for. Not willing to do. So sorry. I love you guys, but no. Let's see. What is... Okay. The gel is $9 if you get the small container. And then so yeah, that's not terrible. I think a big question that we should be asking is, I don't know what the difference is between the leave-in conditioner and I don't know what the difference is. So I'm going to be really curious to know what the difference is between the two, and that I will definitely inform you on what the difference may be, so that I can kind of figure that out and let you know. I will say there's a positive, there is a positive that I do like about the hair serum. And I think that the hair serums for both of them, they last for quite a while. So I really appreciate that aspect of it, and it's, worth the purchase. Putting that to the side, the hair serum, which is the JoJo and the Argan hair oil, and I'm really eager to get my hands on the hot oil, because I haven't had a hot oil since VO5, and I do know that I love VO5 hot oil. Like, I think that it's just one of the best things ever. You don't put it on your hair very often. I could put it on maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months. It's just a really great way to reinvigorate your hair and make it like super soft and everything, and make it strong. Because I went to the hair salon this week, and I had no split ends. So I think that there was something to this. Okay, finally, in honor of Juneteenth, because today is Juneteenth, I was going to talk about Ebony&Ivy by Craig Wilder. And I was going to talk about it because actually I talked to a soror yesterday evening, and I think it's just so great that this time period has really allowed for connections. Like, I've been talking to more of my friends and sorors a lot more than I normally do, and I think part of this is because we're all stuck at the house and we're busy, and I know I'm busy, but I could be busier, and I'm not moving around as much. And so I was mentioning how in anything that we do, we really need to, this book is just like a highlighting point. So as we're talking about the things that she's interested in, I was like, this is a must read. I think it's a must read for everybody, because it really begins to highlight the interconnection of all education with government. Like, education is political. What down from how the education system is structured, towards the curriculum that you have there, towards the kind of classes that you're teaching, towards everything, the textbook, everything is a political decision. And it's not based on just people who are making these decisions. It is the politicians that have been one and the same. The people who founded colleges have always been attached to politics, because you need the funding, you need to have the student body, you need the accreditation is political. So you'll find a lot of former political people who are on accreditation committees, and it's just there's no divorcing politics from education. And so that's why I think that trying to understand how education has been a framework of racial of slavery and the eradication of Native Americans, I think is a crucial point. I mean, it doesn't really get in. I mean, this his work has really inspired even me in looking at some of the founding understanding. I mean, it inspired my research topic, my dissertation that was on Pepperdine and its origin stories, kind of in that sense, in connection to Los Angeles. And before it moved to Malibu, and its connection with Black America, especially Black America in general, and the Church of Christ, and Black America in South Los Angeles. But it really led me to think about, like, California has its own story, because the thing is that the West has a different story than the Northeast and the South, because they were Mexicans, right? And so reading Ebony&Ivy, the absent story is Mexicans. And you know, Craig Wilder started his own genre of higher education, and so he has been a fourth leader. Like, his work has really broken through, and it allowed us to understand more of our history of the institutions that we're at, and the interconnection of the things that we're learning, that we've been taught, and how all of this has some realm of attachment that we need to address and identify. And I just think it's just a powerful work, and I really, really appreciate everything that he's contributed. And I really think, and because I've been, interested in telling, especially California stories. Like, we have, especially in the Northeast. I mean, the Northern California. Think about how there was the Chinese Railroad. Cal Berkeley was the first school in California, and out of the UCs. And so there was the Chinese, there was Mexicans, and so I'm fascinated with how Azusa Pacific dealt with Chinese and Mexicans. It's Azusa Pacific University has, touts its level of diversity from day zero, which I think is humorous, because their level of diversity was because of who was here. Who was here were a number of Chinese, and then there was a number of Latinos, specifically Mexicans, and the land that they were sitting on were pueblos, and the land that and of course Native Americans. So those three groups, and then you did have slaves who came to California and were still slaves. Slave owners bought their slaves here. And so Azusa Pacific has an interesting story that, well, primarily because it's been in some form of existence for 150 years. And I say that some form of existence because it didn't always teach a curriculum. I mean, I'm getting into the weeds. The point that I'm saying is that I think that this book is monumental, changing, and it is one of the better books that I've read, especially about slavery, that he gets into. This is not an emotional conversation. Like, he says things that are very explosive, and he moves on to the next topic very quickly. And if you ever listen to him speak, that's kind of how he does. He says things, and there's not a lot of time to process what he said. And part of that, I think, is out of necessity, because he gives so many factual things to back up his story. And I think that it's such a factual standing that there's little room for interpretation. And he does that because I think that this book is so explosive. I mean, when I first, I mean, I've read it so many times. I've assigned it in class. I do assign it in my English 1C, and I also, or critical thinking class, or English 103. And I do assign it for my Emoja cohorts, which is an all black cohort of English or political science English students at different colleges to help, at community colleges, and sometimes state colleges, to help them progress and move through the education system quickly and successfully. I also think that it's a detriment for people who are going through and getting their master's or PhD in higher education or in education and they have not read this book. It is a staple, and it needs to be in every single education program around the country. It is a necessity. Anyway, so have a great afternoon, and tomorrow, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Have a good day. Bye-bye.